SCA here on 3-5, and I've been a part of this project since it started. When we originally started, we had our linens out here on a hallway cart. It was huge, massive. And we had stacks of linens. And we also had this, which was right adjacent to it the whole time. So we had linen here and we had linen there. And so when we decided to do this, we decided to take all the linen off this cart and just work off of this one, because we have still a lot of residents that are high touch. They like to come and take things off the cart, and then they would put them back onto the cart. So we actually never really knew what was clean and what was dirty. So then we came up with this concept of the rounding carts. And this one is for evenings. I made just a mock bundle for our day one, because if you look on here, I don't know if you can see it clearly or not. On days, we've decided to go with bundling, and we only take half of the bundles that we need for our morning care. So we deliver these bundles to the residents that require them that morning, so that these carts are actually empty in the hallways, so that there's no touching of the linen. And on the evenings, we just stick with the stacking, because when we go around on our evening round, we take this with us and we deliver it to each room as we go along. So when we're done our round, this cart's completely empty. So our hallways always remain free, clean, and useful. There's no linens hanging around getting dirty. And we know what is clean and we know what's dirty. And it seems to have worked. We've had really no complaints about it. Everybody's adjusted well to it, and and I think our infection control has come down in numbers too. We're not contaminated as much.
So how many times do you do this?
Once on days, once on evenings, once on nights. And there's a little picture for each shift. And so we just make sure this cart is usually completely empty and tucked away by 10:30 in the morning, and then completely empty and tucked away by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then nights, well, they make sure it's put away by 7 o'clock in the morning before we come. And then they wipe it down, and it's fresh and clean again to start up the day.
So, Tammy, as a result of this process, my understanding is that there's been quite a substantial reduction in the number of times that our frontline staff are running short of linen.
Sure.
So what was it like before?
It was awful. We would come to our carts hoping that we had the correct linen, and most of the time we had too much of something that we never used and not enough of something that we did need, like face cloths, towels, soakers. We never had enough. And now that we've gone to our exchange carts, we always have enough. We know that what we need is going to be there when we need it. And these are the tally sheets that we came up with. Each unit has their own tally sheet. We have our own numbers as per needs. We sat down and we went through each resident and we knew what needs they needed, and those are the numbers we came up with. And then we had a bit of a bumper that we used for, a buffer. And we have been more or less smack on every time. There's been a couple of times that we've had to up maybe the flannels, because at night they're cold and they want more blankets, so we've had to do that. But honestly, it has been such a godsend. We're always happy to come to work, and we have the linens that we need.
So explain the exchange card process.
It's on a 24-hour basis. They bring these carts in at 7:30 in the morning, and so we work off this cart, came in at 7:30, and we will work off this cart again until tomorrow morning at 7:30. So we have 2 day shifts, an evening shift and night shift that work off this cart, and we still don't run short. And yeah, it's very nice. And we used to do a lot of hoarding because we were short. We would hide bundles of face cloths and towels anywhere we could. People's closets, up in the bathrooms, in the shelves, you name it, we stuffed it. And now we don't do that. We don't hoard. There's no linens in the drawers. There's no linens hiding in closets. It's all here. We know we don't have to hide anymore. So yeah, it's been very good.
And so this whole concept of the exchange carts was built very much in partnership with our colleagues over at 3S Health. And Jen Fetch from 3S Health will be joining us later on to talk through that process about how we can work together as partners to truly improve resident care. As a result of this, that means that you actually will have more time with residents, I'm assuming.
Yeah, because we were especially when we didn't use the rounding carts and we were just taking off, I would go into, a resident's room thinking I had everything I needed. Now I don't have it. So then I had to run out. I couldn't find it on this cart. I'd come to this cart. Now that has stopped. We make up our bundles with what we know we need. We go into the room. We have everything we need. We spend all our time with that resident. There's no in and out, because we've taken the time to do it properly first. And so we've saved a lot of steps that way too. The residents are more content with the care that they're getting. We're not leaving them half naked and cold. We're actually performing our duty, finishing our duty. So
I think that's one of the important roles as us as leaders, is ensuring that our teams, again, have the tools that they need to do their job. So that they to go through all those years of training, they want to provide exemplary, resident-centered care. And so our role is to make sure they have the items that they need to do that.